So one thing that I wanted to talk about is that I have realized, the more that I heal, the more that my conversations need to be upgraded. As I have noticed that the more that I heal, the more certain conversations just doesn't feel right to me anymore. I started realizing that the person that I used to be isn't the same person that I am today. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. My name is Cassie, and on this channel, we talk all things of healing, self-love, and self-care, and of course, becoming your dream woman. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of upgrading your conversation pieces. Because the things that I used to laugh at, the people that I actually even used to vent to, and the conversations that used to feel normal to me, they suddenly feel a little heavy, a little different, a little unaligned. And that's actually a really good sign at this point because it means that I am growing. So today I just wanted to talk about some things that I don't hear enough people discussing in this healing, kind of vibe. And that is, as you heal, your conversations have to heal as well. Because the way that, we speak as an unhealed version of ourselves reflects that version. But as we upgrade our conversation pieces, it will also reflect this new version of us that we are becoming. The first chapter is your conversations truly reveal your identity. One of the biggest shifts that I noticed during my healing journey wasn't just how I actually felt, but it was how I talked. I didn't want to spend hours complaining anymore. I didn't want every phone call to be about, who upset me, what upset me, etc. I didn't even want to gossip anymore. And I didn't want to keep on replaying every frustrating situation over and over again. Not because I was pretending that everything was perfect, but because I realized that constantly reliving those negative experiences was just keeping me emotionally connected to those things. So every time that we retell that painful story, we're giving that story more energy, more power over us. We're rehearsing that, very identity that we are trying to leave behind us. And so healing isn't about pretending life is just amazing, but healing is actually giving you the power to choose not to make negativity your new personality anymore. Many of us don't complain because we're bad people. We complain because it's become our emotional outlets. It's how we have learned to process our stress. Someone hurts our feelings. Oh boy, we call 3 people. Work frustrates us. We replay the situation 5 different times in our head. A family member, upsets us by saying something. And we spend the rest of the day, maybe even the rest of the week for some, talking about it. And before long, we spent more time discussing what went wrong than enjoying the things that went right. And people, fortunately, they begin to expect negative energy from us every time they talk to us. You're kind of portrayed as that negative Nelly person because that's all you talk about every time you get on that phone. And that's not the energy that most people want to be around. Now, hear me out clearly, right? Because this doesn't mean that you never process your emotions. It doesn't mean that you suppress your feelings. Healthy people still work through their emotions, but in just different ways. And the difference is, they process, they don't live in it. They express and then they move forward. The way that they express is they don't really talk about it with everybody that they talk to. They journal about it, they pray about it, and they release it. Because, we don't want to unload that negative energy on other people. Healing also taught me that every conversation doesn't have to become a therapy session. Sometimes it's okay to celebrate your wins, to laugh, to dream again, to learn, to inspire one another. Those conversations feeds your soul. Now, if you are, becoming your dream woman, your interests begins to expand into different things, right? Maybe you are starting to read new books. Maybe you're learning about investing, studying scripture, learning neuroscience, trying new hobbies, traveling, taking fitness classes, learning how to cook new things. You're learning more about business or starting a business. You are enjoying art and learning more about history and different things like that. You may even be inspired to get your hands a little dirty and start gardening. You can also be interested in real estate or interior designing, whatever generally excites you, and then go for it, right? Your life becomes fuller when you are doing things that excite you. Your conversations actually naturally become richer from those different experiences. You don't have to force interesting conversations. You become interesting because you are continuously growing. So, ladies, can we talk for a second? One mistake that I see so many women make is that they are continuously leading with their trauma. I even talked to some ladies that went on a first date and they started, talking about all of their medications that they're on and, just different things like that. Like, oh no, we don't want to lead with our trauma. We don't want to talk about our heartbreaks. We don't want to talk about, if we're having health issues. We don't want to talk about our family issues, our exes, and whatever else that may be on your mind. Okay, because you're meeting someone new and that is not the way that you want to lead. Because again, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So I'm not saying to hide who you are and to be fake, right? No. But what I am saying is that you need to unleash the true you over a period of time. You need to make sure you're building a bit of trust within this person before you go and talk about all of your different situations. Your healing journey deserves to be shared with people who have earned access to it. You don't owe strangers your entire life story, especially when you first get to know them, right? Lead with who you are today. And if you're leading with trauma still today, that means, babe, that you need to heal. And if you need to heal through your trauma and your self-worth and all of these different things, I will leave my website's link into the description. You could kind of take a look because I have a beautiful program to help you heal through your self-worth, make sure that you are embodying a new identity to match that new self-worth, and so much more. If that's how you are leading and that's what you want to talk about, you're not going to attract the right type of man for you, okay? Or even friends, right? Like even friend groups. It's really important that you take your healing seriously, you give time to focus on that, and you don't lead with those things in your relationships. Because one lesson that healing has taught me in all of this is that every relationship has different levels of access. Some conversations actually belong with your spouse, your partner, you know. Some belong with a close friend. Some actually with a mentor, a therapist, and some are even between just you and God. Not everyone deserves the unlimited access to your inner world, especially people that you barely know. Boundaries aren't walls, they are wisdom, and they are your protection. So, can I lovingly challenge you, ladies, today? If every conversation moves around what someone else is doing, it's time to ask why. Gossip feels harmless in that moment, but it quietly lowers the quality of your relationships. If you are gossiping with them, they are probably gossiping about you to someone else. So just know that too, right? You don't want to gossip, and you don't want to befriend people who are gossiping. Because again, if they're gossiping to you, they're gossiping about you. And that's not the type of energy that you want to surround your life with, especially as you become your dream woman. Stepping into a new standard, a new life, a new path. So classy women don't build connection by tearing other women down. They build connection through curiosity, kindness, encouragement, and meaningful conversations. One of the most attractive qualities anyone can have is being a great listener. Not listening so you can jump in and tell your own story with that situation, no. But listening to genuinely understand what that person is saying. So pay attention. Notice what people care about. Notice what lights them up. And maybe someone mentions like their hobby, right? A vacation, a book that they like, a business idea. Write it down mentally, go home, research it, and then the next time that you see them, bring it up. Last time you mentioned XYZ, right? That tells people something powerful about you. That tells them that they matter to you and that you are paying attention. And people rarely are doing that today because most people are listening to just reply. And that will make them feel important, and people rarely forget how you make them feel seen, heard, and so on. So this is something else that I had to learn as well. Is silence isn't always an awkward thing. Sometimes silence creates connection. And if you are dating, you don't have to carry the entire conversation. I beg you not to. It's not good. Let that man lead. Let him lead with those conversations. Let him share about himself and all of that. Even if it is not a man, your friend group as well, right? Allow the other person space to lead as well. Ask thoughtful questions. Share a little, but not too much. Let curiosity naturally unfold. Not every answer is going to require a 20-minute explanation. Sometimes less creates more mystery, more connection, and more opportunities for deeper conversations later on. And the goal isn't to become fake. It's not toxic positivity. It's not pretending that everything is wonderful. The goal is actually to become someone who brings peace instead of chaos. Someone who brings curiosity instead of criticism. Someone who is leaving people feeling lighter after they've spent time with them before they did. And all of that, it's just so magnetic. Not because you're performing, but because you've done your inner work. So healing changes everything. It changes your standards, it changes your friendships, your dream life, your priorities, and yes, it changes your conversations as well. As you become the woman that God has created you to be, ask yourself this question. Would the future version of me have these same conversations that I'm having today? If the answer is no, that's okay. Because today is the perfect day to begin changing them. Not because you're trying to impress others, but because your words should reflect the woman that you are actually becoming. So I wanted to thank you very much for spending this time with me, and I hope that this has inspired you to, change your conversation up, heal, expand yourself, and, work on becoming your dream woman. And so if this video has encouraged you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment below. I'd love to know, what is one conversation habit you've had to let go of during your healing journey? I love you. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, healing is important. Your conversation is important. You are worthy and you deserve to have the life of your dreams and be the woman that you've always dreamed of becoming.